Hello and welcome back to the finishing line. And yeah, I was late, so it's not Tom's fault.
You were late, Dave.
Yeah, I was eating my dinner because it's been a long day. But there you go. Welcome back. Our Irish Fairy House preview. The tips weren't great. Let's just be honest about it.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
They were terrible.
My nap won.
They were bad. The Grand National was terrible.
You got one thing right, Dave. It's silly season. The form book.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Astro Diamond won.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's silly season, but we're here again.
Oh, Sean had a right time for it on the chat, didn't he?
Sure. Look.
He was like the Grim Reaper. Everything he said, this thing hasn't a chance. One.
Yeah, basically.
We're saying this, pull this thing up. One.
Yeah, Mark Walsh fucking fuck off and not be on Sir Bob. But, however, he was on Sir Bob and he cost it the race. We're here for the English National preview and all the other races, the grade 1s and grade 2s and some handicaps and some naps, no handicaps, and some naps and next bests.
Well, the Nationals handicap.
If you're new here, please like and subscribe. If you've been here a while, you know the drill. It'll be a bit of fun. We'll have the crack. We might get a couple of winners. There'll be a bit of abuse, but here, that's the way we do it. Also, please check out the website. Andrew have the details.
Yeah, our website is thefinishingline.com. You can see it there. And we are now on all major social media platforms. So you can see it all there. Check us out on all of them. Give us a follow. We will be creating new content going up on TikTok and all that. So there'll be snippets and there'll be us at the track when we get there and all things like that. Back to you, Dave. That was very professional.
I was thinking that.
Now back to us being us.
Yeah, fair enough. I was just thinking about social media there.
It's my place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's either horse racing or naked women on mine. That's all it is. How are you, Andrew?
Social media? That's not social media. That's called Pornhub.
No, Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, yeah, the Instagram models and all that jazz. Shocked.
Models.
Bicep day.
The more you click on them, the more they come up, Dave. So I don't know what that's.
Remember what was it? The thing you used when we were working in the gym together? That used to be on Tinder. The super like it.
Oh,
remember that yoke?
Tom,
that was great crack. He used to kill me for the uniform.
If I'm scrolling through Insta and there's a bum, a nice bum there and a thong or something like that, I'll give that a like, Tom. I have no issue. And if another one comes up, I might like that one.
I might even
double tap it. Third one comes up, might even like that one again, Tom.
This could be a first, right? Because there's a page on Twitter, and I've only ever seen it with pictures. I've never seen it with a video. But if anyone who runs that Racing Creeps Twitter wants to crop that video and stick it on there with Dave's head, I'd enjoy that.
You have to be up early to catch me, Tom.
What video is that now?
I don't know. Andrew, how you doing?
I'm sorry, Dave.
I like this, and then there's another bum, and I liked it again.
See, the thing is, he wouldn't give a shit.
I could not care less.
That's true.
Andrew sore from training. Tom, you were training. Are you sore?
No, not yet. I couldn't really feel my arms at the end of it. That's probably not a good sign, but apart from that, all good.
You were very cranky today. For a man that's going to Aintree tomorrow, you were very cranky.
Yeah, I walked in. You were like in a dark place.
Yeah. And the one because training, he was like that before he started.
Was he?
Mm.
Just so much work is very busy. It's a very good complaint, but it's very, very busy. And we weren't here. I wasn't even in the office Monday because we were at Fairy House. Zoff's okay. Thanks for asking. He wasn't great afterwards.
Who's in charge of this show?
Oh.
I don't know. It just came to my head when I was saying that I was in Fairy House. So I wasn't in the office.
This is why he's grumpy. He's fucking
grumpy again. I told you he was grumpy, and it's clearly shown he is in fact.
He's going
grumpy.
to be. I'm going to mention John Dance now in a minute. He's going to go off on one.
Siobhan said he was grumpy and all.
Did Siobhan get her gate?
All she wants is a new gate.
She got that Lamilos money spent already. Like.
Oh, so he's in debt.
She didn't call him Lamilos though. Lemilianos or something she called him earlier. If that Lemilianos wins, I'm getting a new gate.
Call him what you want. And as I said to you earlier, if any of those, I'm going over tomorrow night, right? I think I'm going racing Friday. I'm going to find out, but I'm definitely going racing Saturday. any of those protesters get in my way and try and call that race off when the Milos is going to win me a stack, just watch out. I'm telling you that.
Wow.
This will be played in court now in about a year's time, and they're like, see, there was intent there, Your Honor. He said he was going to do it.
And we'll be all like, yeah, they deserved it.
Exactly.
They'd be screaming, "What's your football, man?" No, I've heard. Tom, I will say one thing. The podcast's been going a while now, maybe 3 odd years. One of these days, because the law of averages say it has to happen, one of your anti-post things will come in. One of these days, you are actually going to win a stack.
Yeah.
It might not be Saturday. It might be Saturday. But we will happen eventually.
I'm close with a few of those big ones.
Yeah. Absolute Tom was the first one, and you were robbed, to be honest, because he should have won that day.
Do we get recognition for any of the ones that actually won?
No, because it's funnier when they lose. Like.
That's mean.
It is.
Sean, how you doing?
Yeah, good Easter. I was out at a concert, lost my bank card, wasn't a good start. Then Monday, I had some torrid disease where I couldn't pick a winner. Apparently, I actually sent into the chat about 5 minutes before the Grand National. How on earth does Ian Maximus 8-1? He hasn't a chance. Then he jumped the first 2, and I said he hasn't a chance. And somehow Paul Townend managed to lift him to win a Grand National, to win an Irish National. So that wasn't great. I also made a first trip to the bookies yesterday because I had no bank card, so I had to go and place a bet in cash since Cheltenham, and I found out why I don't go to bookies anymore.
Did you lose some money?
No, but they're just a bad place to be in. I'd rather just do the betting online.
Oh, yes, he did. So, yes, he lost a lot of money.
Kind of sounds like he lost money.
He lost a lot of money. He's batting on Portman Park, Lux and Downs, them virtual things. Yeah. The Val, Kellenworth.
No, the runners were clear today, so the bets are still live. We're all right.
Yeah. Yeah, Ian Maximus was a mad one, to be honest. I was actually PTing someone here, and I was like, "You're going to have a bet in the National?" And she said, No, I wouldn't have any interest. What's Willie Mullins running? And I went, Ian Maximus. I'll back that. She said, do you think that'll win? No, I don't. I really don't.
It's always the people who just go like, yeah, I'll back that. And you go, that's not going to win. It always ends up winning.
And I locked up here and then Monday, and I was going home to watch National, and it was just like, it's like, that horse is going to win now. I know it is.
When he put it in, this thing has no chance. And I said, right, lads, we all know what to do. Lump on Ian Maximus. Did any of us back it? No.
Yeah. And then I think he jumped the third fence, and Paul gave him the biggest backhand you ever seen. Any horse ever get in his life.
If he was in England, he'd be banned for a month.
Like that. I was like, this thing now is getting pulled up. And then I could see him coming. And then the last fence, I was like,
I didn't notice him until the home bend. You see him just suddenly come into the picture. Like, where the hell is he coming out of?
I just changed the channel after he won.
Then the driver's coach, man, looking like he was going to absolutely bolt up. I looked down, I looked back up, and he's had to be pulled up. Like, what the hell is that happening here?
Because
I was stood there watching him turn in, and I backed that was coach, man. And I was like, geez, we're going to win here. And then he got tired after the second last, and you could see he wasn't going to win. So I looked at the horse in front, and then I looked back and I couldn't see him. I was looking down the track like, where is he gone?
Like the best magic trick I've ever seen in my life.
He's gone.
Just disappeared.
Dave, sorry. Back to the start of that story. What were you doing with the woman?
Hey?
Me and Tom rather having two lads who were gone there.
You didn't even see it. You were doing what with the woman in the gym?
She was training. I was working. He was working.
The brothel only opens on Friday evening, Saturdays.
Professional behaviour. I was going to say.
The door was locked, but Dave was inside.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Pull down the shutter, park the car around the corner.
Lads, what about El Monkfish coming back? You ran a storm.
You mean Monkfish?
Yeah, it's Jerry. Solid. Yeah, he's going to win the stayers hurdle, lads.
No, I'd say he'll be injured again, to be honest.
Why? Seriously, why?
He's a big
because every horse you love has glass legs.
He's a big chestnut.
Big, beautiful chestnut-looking bastard. I'm getting t-shirts and all that made a big, beautiful chestnut bastard. But if he runs a punch down, he'll win that.
I'd like to.
They're not going to run him, but they can't run him over fences. His first run in open company cannot be against Gallup and Deschamps. Can't be. They'll kill the poor bastard.
Yeah.
He's been dead for 2 years anyway.
At least he came back from the dead.
Anyway, the Irish National was won by a horse that jumped sideways.
That's another winner we had. Asterion Kaboom.
Yeah, well, sure, he's a legend. I've been saying this for years.
I forgot to text you when we were watching that. How white has he gone?
He's gone very white.
He was kind of a dirty grey at the end of last year, and it was just pure white.
Have you seen the flat horse? But have you seen Caravaggio?
He's white.
Like he was
dark.
He was so dark grey. He was nearly brown, and now
white.
he's white, snow white, like Tom's forehead. Right, let's get kicking on with this because we've a good few races to go through. We've declarations for Thursday, Friday, and not for Saturday.
Jesus Christ.
First race tomorrow is over 2 miles, 4 furlongs. That seemed to be the trend last week, didn't it? Everything was
2-4.
The Lotto Manifesto Novices Chase, a grade 1. We have Banbridge in at 13-8, who missed Cheltenham due to the ground. Stage Star 7-4. Saint Wa 7-2. Visionarian 14-1, and outsider Straw Fan Jack 28-1. I think Banbridge is going to win.
Yeah, I think he's going to hack up.
I would.
It's the whole freshness factor.
Freshness.
You have to question that.
He get his ground.
You have to question that Stage Star form.
I think he's a good horse as well. His form behind El Fabiolo looks decent enough now. And I don't know what to make of the Turners at Cheltenham, so I'm with Banbridge. Yeah,
I'm with him as well. But the fact that not long till May was in around there, it doesn't fill you with any confidence. I know Mighty Potter sadly died on
very, very, very
on Sunday.
Unfortunately.
Appreciate it didn't run any sort of race again. Unexpected Party was in there again. James the Burley bombed out. I say bombed out. He ran a decent enough race last day, but
he was terrible.
It's not a good racing day. I would very much think Banbridge, the freshness on his side, and I don't think he won't leave Stage Star have his own way up front. I think if they make use of him over this trip like they did at Cheltenham, I know it was over 2 miles at Cheltenham, but if they make use of his jumping over this trip around there, I think he'll upset Stage Star. I think he'll win. The fresh is going to have a lot to play. As we said, a silly season. So the kind of angles you want to be going for, this is kind of horses who are very good but have skipped Cheltenham.
Yeah, and I know people questioned his form at Cheltenham earlier in the year with Tommy's Oscar, but Tommy's Oscar actually was decent over fences then as it went along.
And his second, I know he was only put into the race late on, but he was second to El Fabiolo, who went on to bolt up in the Arkle. He has good form. He's a winner around Cheltenham, which when we were there and we saw it was a very, very good performance.
It was.
And again, the freshness factor of it all.
Well, I thought he would have gone close in the Turners. So I'm going to stick with him. Tom, Banbridge or Stage Star or something else?
I'd say at the top of the market, I'd play Banbridge. Yeah, I think missing that Cheltenham run is going to help him. He's been really well placed at the start of this year, especially. He won at Goran, and then he won a grade 2. He won a grade 2 2-mile chase at Cheltenham in November, beating Tommy's Oscar. I think he's been really well placed. He was third then in the Drinmore, wasn't it, behind Mighty Potter
and Gare de Menil.
Yeah, it's not bad form at all. And he ran well that day. And then at Leopardstown, he ran like he wanted to step up and when they went to Million. So. Yeah, look, he'd be my pick. Would I back him at the 13th day? I'm not so sure. The one there as well, I'd just give a mention to it. Again, I'm not sure I'd back him in this field, but Visionarian, Peter had a couple of winners there over the weekend. Looks like they're hitting form. He's got a couple of good bits of form. He wasn't beaten far behind Saint Roy at Leopardstown at Christmas. I know he tailed then at the Dublin Racing Festival, but just for one that's had 68 days off now against a couple that went to Cheltenham, stranger things have happened. So.
Sean?
Yeah, I took the view of all my picks this week, especially after watching Fairy House. I think the soft ground at Cheltenham has horses have had a tough time. Like at Fairy House, other than Noya Maximus, I don't know anything else that ran at the festival and then went on to run well. A lot of them ran well below that level. I think the Cheltenham Festival might have taken a lot out of them on the soft ground, and I come down on Bramvidge as well. The fresh factor, as you said, has run the DRF. He sat off the pace and he picked up second there. And as Tom touched on, he finished second at Cheltenham, which I thought was a good run. But I think he's going to be able to get up here on Hassel stage there. He jumps very well. You won't see a better novice jumping than the way he did around Cheltenham that day. I think he'd appreciate the step up and trip. And the ground, I simply don't think he'd run if it's soft. I think they pulled him out at Cheltenham. I think they'll pull him if the ground's too soft and they could wait till Saturday. So I think if he runs, it's a sign of encouragement, and I've backed him. So it's Banbridge in here for me.
Very good. Okay, we're on to the second race on Thursday, the 220, and it's the Juicing Anniversary 4-year-old juvenile hurdle, again a grade 1. Zenta, who was third at Cheltenham, is 11-8 favourite. Then we have Bo Zenit 6-1, Nuzzer 13-2, Scriptwriter 15-2, Greyval 10-1, and 16-1 Bar. Andrew, what are you thinking?
Again, Zenta has the best form in the race, 2.5 lengths behind Lossy Mouth. But then Gusto Win Blood Destiny came out there on Saturday, I want to say. Monday. And we're turned over by a third 3-1 shot trained by Andy Mack. Look, that horse was a good horse in Germany and all that jazz, but you would expect them to go a lot closer than they did. So again, I kind of want to stay away from him. That was only his first run for Willie. Second run for Willie. But again, it's the whole what's Cheltenham after taking out horses. And I hate going at something that short as at the run at Cheltenham, especially with being a juvenile hurdler. Then you're looking at Gary Moore's form. His horses are either after taking a trip to Gordon's outside stables, or there's something magical happen down around Plumpton, because
40% strike rate
in the last two weeks. Every second horse is winning.
Yeah.
So that brings Bo Zenit into it. He was beaten by Blood Destiny in France before being bought by Gary Moore. He's one that seems to be proving a lot with racing. He got beat at odds on when he ran a Sandown. He's beaten 27 lengths, and then he won 3.5 lengths, where the penny looked like it suddenly dropped late on in the race, and he then went on to win by 15 lengths, beating Bluegrass, who was 101 rated for Aidan O'Brien on the flat. I think he's a decent price. He's 6-1, and again with the Gary Moore form, you can't really go wrong in having a little each way bet of 6-1. I won't put anyone off Bo Zenit. I'd be staying away from the favourites. Bo Zenit would be the main selection. Nusrat is interesting as well. He's good form in England. He bolted up at Kempton, I think, the last day. Scriptwriter has to come back from two bad enough runs. I don't say bad enough, but the last one was bad. But yeah, Bo Zenit, I think all things considered, Gary Moore's form, he's, after skipping Cheltenham, he was a highly thought of horse at the start of the season, and he's getting his act together. I think he'd run a massive race at 6-1.
Tom?
Yeah, I agree with Andrew to some extent there. Zenta, I think, is very good filly. Unfortunately, they lost Pastorius, the sire, over in France, but he's turning out to be a very, very good sire of fillies. Sean was by him, Sean Hausick, top horse, and Pastoral is by him as well. And Zenta is very, very talented. It's just a case of what did Cheltenham take out of her. That was only her second run for Willie, as you were saying. If it didn't take too much out of her, I think she'll be winning this. But I'm not going to be taking that chance at 11-8, to be honest. I think Andrew's got the nail on the head there. Gary Moore's form is extraordinary at the minute. It's not even like he's only had a few runners. He's had 43 runners in the last 14 days, and he's got 17 winners, and the rest of them have ran well in a hole as well. So I think you've got to side with Bo Zenit here. It's kind of an each way bet for nothing to me. God only knows what happened the first day. Not a clue. Maybe it was Sandown. I don't know. But he's won Well Relaxed twice. he comes into this. He beat Blood Destiny in France on his first start. He was highly touted. I'd say he cost an absolute arm and a leg. But yeah, he comes into this with a huge chance, I'd say. Nusret would be the other one. Again, Joseph O'Brien skipped Cheltenham with him to come here. I'd say that's a smart move. And look, anything down the bottom could take a chance as well. Sarson's Risk, I know it fell last time, but it won well the time before that. I wouldn't rule that out at a big price, but I think the bet here for me would be Bozanov each way.
Sean?
Yeah, I'm the same as the lads. With Zenta, I think she's the best horse in here. It's too short of a price, and it's going to be her third run. She didn't get a run long in before Cheltenham. It's going to be her third run in 2 months. I just wouldn't want to take that short price. But I think the Irish have been a cut above the English juveniles, and I fancy it's going to be a bet without Zenta in here. It's going to be Nusra. He's 11-4. He's coming here a fresh horse. He went on to take them on over in Kempton in the Adonis, and I think he won a bit more snug than it looked in the end, but he beat the best of the English over there. And as I said, he skipped Cheltenham. He's coming here fresh. I reckon that's been the plan all along. And I think these two Irish horses might pull a couple clear of the English.
Yeah, I think the Irish form is stronger as well. It's a nice horse, and Gary Moore's form is very strong at the moment, but I think Zenta's form behind Lossiemouth and Gallimarceau is miles clear of the rest. I think she will back up her run in Triumph as well. She'll be getting better in her run, so I'll give Zenta a shot. I think she's a worthy favourite. Okay, the 255, the big race tomorrow, the Aintree Bowl Chase, a grade 1 over 3 miles and a furlong, and there's no brave man's game now. He's been taken out with what's going on with John Dance's company. So Shishkin is 2-1 favourite. Absolute Tom is 5-2. A High Senior 11-4. Conflated has drifted a 6-1 odd, and Gallo is the outsider 33-1. Sean?
It's a very tough race. My pick was Brave Man's Game. Now he's gone. I think it's a hard one to have a bet, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't have a bet now at the moment. But Conflated, I think his prices, he's been a little bit overlooked in here, 6-1. If you could draw up perfect conditions for him, a flat track, going around Aintree might be him. But I mean, they've all went to Cheltenham. They don't really, they're all coming, none of them are coming here fresh. I think it's a very competitive race, and I'll be sitting back and watching. So no selection for me.
Andrew?
Bottled it.
Yeah, I can't split them. I really can't.
It is a hard race, in fairness. Look, you have how many's left now? 5. 4 to 5. 3 have run the Gold Cup. 1 has come second in the Ryanair. I can't back Shishkin after what I saw at Cheltenham. He was jumping left, he was jumping right, he was jumping into the back of horses, he was jumping through fences. That has taken a hell of a lot out of him. That's 2 big runs back to back in a very short space of time. He can go win for all I care, but I would not back him at 2-1 for that. I probably wouldn't back him at 3-4-1. I think that's after taking way too much out of him. And again, the amount of problems he's had, he's a horse I probably would never back again. A High Senior won this last year, bolted up in it. I don't like the fact Brian Hughes on. I'd be all over him if Brian Hughes wasn't on him. I think Derek Fox is the man for him. I don't know if is he back for Cora Cambler?
I'm supposed to be back for Saturday,
yeah. If he was on him, he'd be definitely my selection. You're looking at Conflated then as well. Massive run in the Gold Cup. What's that out of taken out of him? And then you're looking at Absolute Heart. He's the one that's out there having the less strenuous race because he was pulled up, because he was practically nearly brought down by 2 fallers. You're taking a leap of faith back in a horse with pull up behind his name. He hasn't shown his. We don't know if he's shown his true. He was going to show a true run at Cheltenham because he wasn't asked for any effort, but he was upsized galloping the chance when he was stopped in his track. He got back to anywhere near his best. He batters these. He's just too fast for him, and he's a good stayer. He has more pace than him, and he's a Gold Cup winner. If he shows that in like his form, Then again, here's the other side of it. Henry's horse that fall off the face of a cliffs in Shelton. I think he's only had to have one winner in Shelton.
I have a staff. Yeah, he's won from 30 and he hasn't trained a winner in the month of April. Not from 23.
That's a massive, not massive negative. It's a bit of a negative, but then who we the question Henry de Bromhead because he does it time after time in big races. They show up and they win. If I'd back him if I was to have a bet in it. I'd back Aplutard on the basis that he's not after having a hard race at Cheltenham, and we don't know that he wasn't asked for any effort. And if he gets back to anything like his Gold Cup performance, he just simply beats these.
Tom?
Yeah, I think Aplutard is clearly the lurker there, isn't he? I mean, she was easy on him, Rachel, when he got hampered, but I don't know. I felt he was a bit far back then, anyway. But yeah, look, betting. This is a race where, like, betting proposition. He's pulled up in his last 2 starts. You can't really back him at 5-2. Shishkin is a never back again, no matter what race he's in for me, and he's 2-1 favourite. And it leaves me between 2 horses, Ahoy Senor and Conflated, who I am not a fan of either. I don't know. I think at the prices, I think 6-1 is huge on Conflated. I think that's a really big price. He was second in this last year. He's run a cracker in the Gold Cup. You know, he was only beat by Clan de Zoba last year, who was laid out for this. He's coming into a race where they've all gone to Cheltenham. So look at the prices. I think 6-1 would be my bet over Ahoy Senor, as he's half the price basically. Ahoy Senor, though, on the other hand, has had 3 runs at Aintree and he's won 2 of them, and they were both at this meeting. They were at this meeting last year and this meeting the year before. So he clearly goes very well here. The fact Derek Fox isn't riding him, I take as a negative as well, Andrew. Nothing against Brian Hughes. I just think Derek Fox is kind of just a different rider, isn't he? And I think he clicks with some horses for whatever reason. I think he clicks with this lad, and he clicks with Corrick Rambler, who, yeah, I don't know if we'll get to Grand National, but anyway. So look, it would be between the 2 of those for me, and the fact that Conflated is double the price would lead me to back Conflated.
Yeah, like Ahoy Senior, he's a mental fucker, God love him. And it's hard for someone. Look, Brian Hughes is a good jockey. I don't think he's good as people make him out to be. But Ahoy Senior is a very, very tricky ride. And you can see it from all his runs throughout the season. He won the novice version of this last season, and if he's like that, he'd be hard to catch around here. But it's a very, very hard race. You could change your mind 3 or 4 times like this, and something else could win it. I think the only one you can truly rule out is Galore.
I wouldn't even do that.
He's a good horse, but he's probably not good enough to win this. But
this is anything we saw with that weekend. Yeah. Anything.
Them got beat by what one day? Some yak.
I agree with Tom in regards to prices. I'd have Conflated as the favourite. So in that sense, he's my pick. I think he's the strongest piece of form with the 3rd in the Gold Cup, and he's still progressive at 3 miles. Has been the last couple of seasons. I think if you're saying you'd side with Aplutard, I can't see why you wouldn't go with Shishkin, because they're both kind of all over the place. I'd have Shishkin ahead of Aplutard.
But Shishkin has shown that he's an absolute fucking mental patient now.
But he's shown that he will finish out a race at least, and he is.
But Aplutard was only properly pulled up because
I agree with Tom. For me, he was too far back in the Gold Cup.
He was upsides. He was upsides in the shops when he was stopping his tracks.
I don't think he was going anywhere, to be honest. And look, Henry's form has just taken such a dive. 1 from 30. Sean mentioned the 3% in the last couple of weeks. No winners in April. I would not. If I had a free €100, I wouldn't put it on.
It's mad though, isn't it? It's mad how they just suddenly
blows my brain.
If you go through them, then
Conflated is the one for me. I think Ahoy Senior is a great chance. He's a bit of a fruitcake, but I thought he was running probably his best race over fences in the Gold Cup till he came down. He does have a tendency to belt one, but he was flying along in the Gold Cup. and until that point, didn't look like falling. But there you go. And his form in Aintree is very good, but just the price is conflated. I surprised he drifted out. He's drifted out 6 to 1.
I thought
he's a big price now.
Like, yeah. A high senior is a proper spring horse.
And like, even when you look at it, like, Conflate's the only consistent horse there. Like, and you're talking like Shishkin's having his third run in 2 months as well. I wouldn't be going anywhere near him. And then you have a Plutarch at 2 pulls up and a high senior with a fall. And then you have Conflate at 6s. It is looking a bit big.
Derek Fox was on him. I'd be all over him like a rash.
Conflated backed up. I know he fell at the second last in Cheltenham last year in the Ryanair. I think he's going to be second that day. And he backed up the run. He ran very well last year. Beaten by Clandazova in this. So he's
and even could win it.
I think Conflated is the one to be on. But we'll go on to the Aintree Hurdle, a grade 1, 2 miles, 4 furlongs. Con Moose is 1 to 8. Santa here 14 to 1. Epton 16 to 1. And then you have Sharjah. I like to move it. So Royale. If Constitution Hill stays, which I'm sure he will, he'll win. That's really all I'd say. Probably about 15 odd lengths or something like that.
Do you think he'll stay, Dave?
I'd say he'll stay 3 miles, Tom.
Just about. The thing is, he might just come off the bridle for a split second. Because Nico de Vineville would probably fall off him. Go wee. Turbo wee.
Yeah, I think
he wins by half the fucking track.
He's just very good.
He wins by half the track.
There's no point in spending too much time on this.
Sharjah to follow him home. 7 champion hurdle, didn't run it. I'm sticking to me gun. Sharjah to follow him home. He'll be dropped out the back. He'll come there late. He'll pick off Epitant, who Sean thinks was improving. A 9-year-old, good lord. Zani here, he'll probably do the same. He'll run it on again. I like to move it. It's a pace. Yeah, he'll give Constitution Hill a nice tone to the race again. And Sharjah now will just trot along there and pick up second. Whatever price he is for second, I don't know. Without.
Yeah.
11 to 2. Someone said there. 11 to 2. Sharjah without.
Con moves for Tom.
Sit back and enjoy him, really. I think he'll win, and they'll say afterwards he's staying over hurdles next season.
Yeah.
Sean.
Disrespect for this horse that you have, Moose. The best horse in training, and you call it a Moose.
Oh, he's not.
This is going to be
the best horse in training is Galopin Deschamps. He's the second best horse in training, but he's the most ugliest, rotten looking horse you'll ever see.
Like a rat.
This is going to be my favourite moment of the week. I'll sit back and watch this aeroplane fly around Aintree and win by as much as he wants. Now, just to let you know, Dave, right? 20 lengths is 4 to 1. How good is this fella? How good is he?
Just remember, is the Brack got beaten this before?
Do you know, he looks like...
That's just saying. Just saying.
Sean, say it. He's better than Istabrack. Go on, say it.
Fucking well better than Istabrack.
Oh, will you stop, will you?
Do you know them
no doubts about it.
You know them fucking westerns that your father used to watch on a Sunday evening, and the horses in them that are pulling the carts?
No, I was out playing then.
Well, he looks like one of them. He's
if I see some
he's like that thing Gary Moore bought.
Huh?
It's like that thing Gary Moore bought that pulling the carts around France.
No, that's an idiot.
He's a mental patient.
That's an idiot.
Dave, how many lengths does he win by? How many lengths
Connie Hill. Tomorrow.
On the Houdini, I'd say
2.5.
See, you're putting me on the spot. 24. How about that?
You're only getting 4 to 1 with that.
He didn't even finish then. You put me on the 24.
24.
By 24.
24 lengths.
On the steel. Nap.
It doesn't matter what follows him. Just sit back, relax, and watch.
See, the thing is, our Hendo and Stonehands are struggling for the winners too, so he could give him the heave-ho tomorrow now to get the win out.
He might give him the old bottom him, and he'll be fecked for next season. That'll be the excuse when he goes over hurdles and something beats him.
For what it's worth, I think he's going to go over fences.
Yeah, do you think he'll go fence the hurdle?
I do. I think they'll duck in Perrier Pass, to be honest.
I think they'll duck Marie National.
Hendo go like real challengers.
Yeah. Sure, why he's sticking Effikoff, the improving 9-year-old.
Stop.
That's all he's beat.
Buzz is fit with 3 months, and he wouldn't run him over hurdles. He runs him today in heavy ground.
Out the back of the telly.
Fucking ridiculous.
Poor Buzz. Love Buzz. He's
okay,
lovely.
Sorry, can we just clarify that? You said he's going to run scared of Imperial Pass.
Yeah, he's going to duck him.
Weapon.
Which he give over.
You're going to duck him.
You stay over hurdles.
When do you respect him? At what point does he get the respect?
When he wins 4 champion hurdles, like you said.
So
then he'll be considered the best.
When he goes over fences, you're saying, "Oh, he's just going fences, trying to win a Gold Cup or whatever." He didn't duck in Pere Pass. I will always be able to say he ducked in Pere Pass.
And do you know what else he done? He ducked Honeysuckle last season. Oh, went over to take Honeysuckle on Punchdown. Ducked it.
Do you want to know something?
Shot the bag.
Go on.
So easy.
I've started backing him for the Argle.
Oh yeah, see, because he's going over fences.
0 value.
Wait, you see the moose over fences?
I don't know.
Yeah,
well, them top class hurdlers, some of them don't make chasers,
but he can always
because they go zoom over the hurdles.
He
and
can
they won't
always
get away with that.
He could always go back to it.
Yeah, who done that? Bouvardier. Couldn't jump a twig over a fence.
Yeah, he went that bad. He just didn't know champion.
He's that good. He could probably take all the fences with him.
Okay, we're on to Friday.
Get the white jackets with us, lad.
Friday.
Are we not doing the Fox Hunters?
No.
Well, that was
Andrew, I swear you've got the Fox Hunters included.
Yeah, he took it off.
He just doesn't. Like, I put it
he
back
took
in.
it off.
Did I see the argument we had about it?
I want to give a shout out to one in the Fox Hunters.
Give it a shout out there.
You can do it at the end there.
I'll do it now because we're
do it now. Do it now.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Bradley Gibbs could win both for the Fox Hunters this year. He's got a horse here called Fear Yagan. That's definitely not how you pronounce his name. He's won 3 points this year by a combined total of 155 lengths. He's won by 70 lengths, 60 lengths, and 25 lengths. The thing looks like an absolute aeroplane. Brad showed he can train and ride at Cheltenham, and if this takes the fences, I'd say that could be a proper horse.
Hey, Sean, there's a lot of people questioning Conman in the comments.
Oh, would you give over?
Hurricane Fly would beat him. Conman has beaten nothing.
Conhill has beaten nothing.
Lads.
Jesus Christ, lads.
Oh, Jesus.
Brilliant. So easy to wind people up.
It does me head in. Like, this lad is being 170 rated and horses into second, and we're still questioning him on the absolute steal by 10 lengths.
See how far Honeysuckle beat her?
Lads, why did Honeysuckle not run the champion hurdle?
Oh, because you wanted to see how far she could beat Epitome by. See, she beat him further.
There's too many races. We're not talking about this moose anymore.
It's great. You just all you have to say to Sean is Conhill is shit, and you just lose it. It's great.
The 145 at Aintree on Friday.
Friday.
Air Charter Service Mile May Novices Chase.
A terrible name.
3 miles, 1 furlong. Jerry Colombe, even money favourite. Braun, crazy bastard.
Juan Deco.
Complete unknown, 6-1. Gallia Delito, 8-1. Thomas Darby, 16-1. Sherlock Jack, 40-1. For what it's worth, I would think Braun might win this.
Oh,
do you?
Yeah, I think he might. To be honest, I think they both had hard races at Cheltenham, but it's a poor race altogether.
He's been beat twice by Jerry.
I think, but Braun is just he's a little bit
Deco's after converting you.
He's a little bit tougher.
Deco's after converting you. Deco's converting you. I love Deco.
It's not that he converted me. I watched him in the parade ring going around before the RSA, and he bit one of the stands. Like,
yeah,
he actually took a chunk out one of the stands. He is crazy.
He had a fight with Deck as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I just have to go with Braun. I'm so disappointed that Jerry didn't go up
I think the big difference here now is that Davy's on him. I don't think Dave will make the same mistake. I think they make plenty of use of him here now.
I don't think Davey cares anymore.
Dave will want to go out and high now. He'll want to have one more winner on a big stage.
Well, I'm going for Braun anyway.
Look, the price was evens. Again, Cheltenham must have taken it out of him, but once you go past Jerry and Braun, the rest of them are just handicappers. Plain and simple. So to me, it's a 2-horse race. It's between Jerry and Braun. Braun has to turn around with Jerry, but it's silly season. I wouldn't put it past him. But from a winning standpoint, I think Jerry will win. That's about it.
Sean.
Yeah, I back Jerry in here. I think he'll outstay Braun. I think David. I thought David will give him a no prisoners ride. He'd be up on the pace here, be pushing it. He won't let him be cut out like the way he was the last day. I think Braun will be up there with him. But I think the extra furlong here as well will be playing into Jerry Colombe's hands. And as Andrew said, I wouldn't be touching the rest of the field. I think the two of them are much the better, and he'd be hitting the line strong. Where I don't think Brown will be staying as well. So it's Jerry
Brown be hitting somebody.
Yeah.
Tom, you're definitely going to think Jerry's too short. So who are you going for?
Jerry is too short. Definitely take him on at even money. Bron, I know Bron has won 4 times, but I was there the day he won at Ferryhouse, and I felt Darryl Jacobs just really trying to put his head on the line, like right on the line. The other race he beat Churnstone Warrior by half a length. The other race he beat Killer Mode by 3/4 of a length. I don't know how much he wants to win, to be honest. So I wouldn't back him either. Gallia Delato needs rain, and I don't think they're going to get that much of it by the sounds of it. Complete unknown. Look, it's one of these, isn't it? It bolted up a handicap last time. It's got some okay form. It got beat by Gallia Delato. It's Nichols. I wouldn't put it past him. It's 6-1. What I want to know is there's a horse down the bottom in this, well, not quite at the bottom, but near the bottom, called Thomas Darby. Andrew, what price?
500s. 500s.
Would you back him at 500?
I wouldn't back with counterfeit money. I wouldn't back him with Monopoly money. I would never, ever back him.
Can you say the words, I wouldn't back him if he was 500 to 1?
I wouldn't back him if he was 600 to 1.
Okay, then my selection for this race is definitely going to be Thomas Darby. I'm going to take a swinger on him. He's too big at 16.
Hey, look, I said it once before. There's no point hiding from it. I'll say it again. I don't care at this stage.
He is a very talented hurdler, no matter what way you want to put it. On his day, he's fairly good. He's gone well at Aintree. Look, he hasn't had that many runs over fences, has he? But he won last time off 145 in a handicap chase. So he's every right to take his chance in this. 72 days off, he's fresh. 16-1. I'll take a swing at Thomas Darby.
It's whole Braun.
Yeah, personally, I couldn't see Thomas Darby winning, but best of luck. The 255, the Poundland Top Novices Hurdle, a grade 1 over 2 miles, half a furlong. Found a 50 is 7-2.
Did you?
No, I wish I did. In the Pocket 9-2, Lucia 9-2, Alto Belly 10-1, Holland Back 10-1, and 12-1 Bar. Tom, you can take this first.
Tricky race, and I would definitely be taking a swing. I'd be taking a swing at an outsider somewhere, and I've got the one I'm gonna back. It's based on trainer form as well, slightly. This trainer we're on about Gary Moore. This lad's got 43% strike rate, 3 winners from 7 runners. All of them are Kieran. Don't ask me about jockey. However,
I want to know. I'll ask you.
Tom, did you see you rode a tour for Willie the weekend?
I did, yeah.
He must be an absolute weapon.
Yeah. Oh, God. Anyway, look, won a grade 2 at Limerick over Christmas. Second behind Irish Point at Nace then. Ran a cracker. Has gone on better ground as well, which is key, and has gone on soft ground. 16-1 is an absolute wild price. And I'm going to be getting stuck into the horse is called No Looking Back. And I'll be getting stuck into that each way on Friday. I think that's actually got a great chance. And yeah, I think this is a race that can throw up some strange results. I know John Bomb won it last year, but like Belfast Banter won it before, and poor Peter must have been pulling his hair out trying to get him to win a maiden hurdle. Lola won it, Ping Shu won it, Sirius Dallas won it, Darius won it. So it can throw up the odd random result, and I think No Looking Back has got a cracking chance.
Andrew? Yeah, I can't not disagree. Oliver McKieran has a knack of pulling off a big one at this meeting. He's done it a few times over the years. His form has been decent enough all season. He still wins. He's second behind Irish Point. That's not bad form at all. 16-1, I think, is a massive price in the race. That's massively wide open. In the Pocket, I won't go near him until he steps up and trip. I think he's crying out for a 2.5 mile. He was staying on again in Supreme. Lucia, I wouldn't back her with counterfeit money. This thing was meant to run in Supreme. Apparently, Nico wanted to run in the Supreme, and she got destroyed in the mares. Found the 50 is one that's interesting as well. Second behind Cobra's Cross the last time. That's very good form. Yeah, but at the prices in a race that's mad and just wide open, I think no looking back, 16-1. Audrey McKieran has a knack of putting off a stroke at this meeting. So 16-1, same as Tom, no looking back.
Okay, Sean.
Yeah, this is one of my stronger fancies of the weekend now. When you're looking at this, it was in the pocket and Lucia at the top of the market, but where the money has come from, and it's found the 50 for me for Gordon Elliott. He's been improving with each run this season. He was very keen on his bumper when he ended up getting caught. He then went on to win his maiden hurdle where he beat Parmian, and then he ran a smasher the last day, I thought, against Corbus Cross, only to be beaten by a short distance. But I think this track is going to suit him perfectly. A flat track, he's going to be letting you up there on the pace. He'll be jumping, and I don't think there'll be much hanging around here. And I think he has a very good chance. Like as you were saying, like in the pocket, the Henry de Bromhead form was not great. I want to stay clear to him. Lucia, that mare's hurdle form.
A drinking game or something. Is it play along at home or something?
He said the same. He said the same at Cheltenham. It didn't work out well for him.
What was it?
You said the same at Cheltenham and it didn't work out well for you. Avoid Henry.
Who's this?
Avoid Henry.
Oh. No, it wasn't even that. It was just I couldn't back Henry de Bromhead with the form at the moment. But the Lucia, like that mare's hurdle form, took a thumping. I really wanted to take her on when she was favourite in here. But found the 50. I'm real keen on him. I think the track will suit. He's good form. He's improving the whole time. And I think I have a feeling he's going to take a bit of beating here.
Okay, and I am going to go with Paddy Brennan and Fergal O'Brien hauling back. I agree with Tom and Andrew that an outsider will probably win this. He axed around the course. He was second in the bumper last year, the Grade 2 bumper at this meeting. And he's been a progressive hurdler, hasn't been seen since February, so missed Cheltenham. I think he'll have a good chance. He travels very strongly in his races, so and Fergal O'Brien's had a great season.
And at worst, you get to see Paddy Brennan right to finish.
Yep.
Which is always a right crack.
Funny. Very, very funny. Okay, on to the 3:30. The Marsh Chase, 2 miles, 4 furlongs, Grade 1. Pictoria's favourite, 9-4. Fakir Duderie, 5-2. Hitman, 5-1. French Dynamite, 10-1. Fugitive, 10-1. Miller's Bank, 10-1. Manila Drama, 25-1. Not the most inspiring of races.
Grade 2 horses running in Grade 1s?
Yes, pretty much. And I'll go first. I'm going to side on an each-way bet on Miller's Bank, simply because he runs well at the meeting. He's good Aintree form. And I just don't really like any of the other horses. I think Fakir's regressed this year. Pictoria's a Grade 2 horse. Fugitive's a handicapper. French Dynamite's ran loads already this year. So, yeah, Miller's Bank for me.
I don't know who you want to. I just thought you wanted to be.
Andrew.
Hey. Yeah, Grade 2 horses running in Grade 1. Fakir won this 2 years in a row, but as you said, he hasn't looked anywhere near his best this season. Look, Aintree could perk him up. He could win. Pictori, he wins his races, but he was absolutely battered by Shiskin. Ascot, I've never took to the horse, and I wouldn't back him at that. French Dynamite, I just like him. I think he's a tough out little horse. He runs his race. He might pop up in one of these one day. He ran a good race behind Roy Cheltenham in the Ryanair. He was only beaten 5 3/4 lengths. If he reproduces that, he could have a nice little run in him. He only has 2 lengths to find with 2 3/4 lengths to find by Hitman. Look, I think he has a good chance. 10-12-1. I'll have a little poke on French Dynamite.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. Miller's Bank for me here has run 2 crackers at this meeting. Was third behind Abracadabras, Alakazum. At 80-1 a couple of years ago, and then last year won the Grade 1 novice by 10 lengths. Is off the back of a wind up. Is off the second run off the back of a wind up, which I always like. The last run was in a very, very competitive race at Ascot. And yeah, I think there's plenty to go in his favour. Alex Hales is in really good form, has had a couple of winners, and the rest of them have been placed really, for which for a fairly small outfit is very good. And I think 10-1. I think you got a fair chance there.
Sean?
Yeah, I have the same opinions as you, to be honest. I don't really have a strong view on the race. There's grade 2 horses in a grade 1 race, and Fakir do the Darties. If he went off favourite, I'd nearly be trying to get him done in the places, to be honest with you. But it would have been Miller's Bank. This is small each way. As you said, his form around Aintree is cracking. It's just his jumping can be a little bit, that's his Achilles heel. But he's put up 2 good displays around at this meeting, and if he was to get around, I could see him run a big race at that price.
Very good. Okay, the last one on Friday is the 440, and again, it's a grade 1. The Sefton Novices Hurdle, 3 miles, half a furlong. Stay away, Faye. The Bartlett winner is, I don't know, definitely running, I'd say. 3-1 favourite. Absolute Notion, 7-2. Iroko, who won at Cheltenham, 2, 6-1. Maximilian, 6-1. Grey Dawning, 12-1. Apple Away, 12-1. And then it's 20-1 Bar. Tom, give us the winner.
If I tip your horse, will you give me less burpees next week?
More.
No.
Okay.
No, I won't give you less, but I won't give you more either.
Okay, so I'm just giving my honest opinion there. Look,
don't shy away from it, Tom. You have to say it now.
I know. Look, this is another one of these wild races, isn't it? That you could pop up with some mad thing win. I'm not really keen on much, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I give Grey Dawning.
If ever I see a fella to dodge a question in my life,
he doesn't really seem to know who he's.
No, he doesn't know. I have a feeling he didn't even look at the race. Yes.
I don't fancy any. This is really open. You can make a case for literally 70% of the field, I think. I don't know. I know, Dave, you're keen on one, so you're better off giving that, because I'll probably end up having a tenner on a wild outsider here, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm very keen on the filly, Apple Away. She's been steadily progressive since she stepped up to 3 miles. She was second to a John Joe O'Neill horse and then won 2 races. The form is tied in with the winner of the Mayor's Novice at Cheltenham. And her 2 wins, she's just been very, very impressive, led from the front and never looked like being pegged back in either 2 races. Lucinda Russell won this race with Ahoy when he was 66-1. He bet Brave Man's Game. Stable is flying, and I think she'll win.
Ooh.
She's my best.
12-1 nap.
She's my best bet of Aintree.
Oh,
Andrew.
A hard race the way up. Stay away, Faye. I don't think there was any fluke about the win at the Albert Bartlett. Absolute Notion has good form coming in here, second behind Good Land at Dublin Race Festival, where he looks like his step up and trip will do him no problem whatsoever. He'd be the main win purpose. I think he'll run really, really well. I think he's a horse that's on the up, and at 7-2, I think he's the win angle of the race. But there's one lurking at 33-1. Anytime I look at the race, I keep going back to him, and that's Howling Mad Murdoch, trained by Tom Lacey. Won last time up really, really impressively. He's 3-2 in his career. It was at Sandown. He beat Hermono AA. Oh, I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. But then the 2 of them were 31 lengths clear of the rest of the field. And he done this really, really well. He travelled into the race looking miles the best horse in the race. I think he could be one that's there with a massive show if they go off at a mad pace, because he looks like a horse that's well able to travel. And I think 33-1, I won't put anyone off having an each way bet on him. That's Howling Mad Murdoch. But Absolute Notion, I think he'll run really well. His win against Deep Cave was over 2 miles, 3.5. He was 3 3/4 lengths behind In the Pocket at Naas, and 1.5 lengths behind Goodland at the Dublin Race Festival. The further he goes, the better he'll be, I think. I think he'll take a lot of beating, but Howling Mad Murdoch 33-1, I think, is a massive price as well.
Andrew gave you 2 horses. Neither of them are the winner. Sean?
Says the fella that puts up Apple's fucking whatever it's called. I think I never heard of in my life.
I don't mean that, Andrew.
Well, anytime anyone puts up something you don't like, I hope.
I actually like Howling Mad Murdoch. I've backed him 2 times, but he needs soft ground. He was withdrawn on good ground. Sean.
I go head to head here with my best bet of the week, Dave, and I've taken some dirty 13 to 2 each way, and it's Maximilian. I was really impressed with him at Doncaster. I think the step back up the 3 miles was key from that day. He beat the Albert Bartlett winner, Stay Away Faye, and the third then came out to win a race by 47 lengths. I think the form is looking good. I don't think there was any fluke about it. Now, I do think Stay Away Faye has improved to go and win the Bartlett, but there's nothing to say that this lad can't be improving either. He's a strong stayer. He's 6 from 7 in his career. He's only been beaten once. And I think this would have been the plan. They'd skip Cheltenham and gone straight to Aintree. I reckon this was his big plan for the season. And Maximilian, I think he has a smashing chance in here. Really hard to see him out of places. He'd be staying on. And with horses like a Rocco, I'd be willing to take him on all day. I think it's quite weak outside of the top 2. And I'd be really disappointed if he's not in here. I'm very competitive.
Tell if they're going to give Apple away an easy lead. Watch it happen. On to Saturday. First race on Saturday is 145. That's not Saturday. It is. The Mag Hull Novice Chase, another grade 1, over 2 miles. No betting for this. Banbridge is in here again, but we'll run tomorrow. Calico, Fusain, John Wobble, Marvel the Cerisier.
A new name.
John Wobble, yeah.
John Wobble.
Yeah, he's not good enough to be a jambon. Not long till May. St. Wa again and Solo. I hate that horse. Tom.
Jambon, whatever you want to call him, is going to go off a very short price for this, isn't he? I think he wins, to be honest.
I like short and sweet.
Andrew?
What Tom said.
John Wobble. Sean?
Sorry, few saying. Without favourite. He's improved for a wind up. Yeah, him without.
Sean?
Yeah, it's hard to go by John Bond, isn't it? Would you be surprised if he's beaten? Edwardstone was turned over at a really short price in this. I wouldn't be backing him now. He is definitely the most likely
but
winner.
There's no proper grade 1 horses in this, though.
Nah, he's only been beaten twice. And the only 2 times he's been beaten are by genuine machines. So
yeah, I thought the only way that would happen is if Banbridge was pulled tomorrow and ended up going Saturday. But if he doesn't, well then I'd say it's John Bond. It's definitely John Bond's to lose.
Yeah, I'm more than likely to just watch this. Fusain has turned the corner since his wind up. He's looked better the last 2 times, but I'll just watch. John Bond is the most likely winner. The 3 o'clock. The Mersey's Novices Hurdle Grade 1, 2 miles, 4 furlongs. Herpes Allen is 11-2 favourite. In the Pocket is in here again, 6-1. You Wear It Well, 6-1. Dark Raven, 13-2. Irish Point, The Carpenter, and so on and so forth. Another tough race. Sean?
Yeah, Herpes Yak got the fright of his life at Cheltenham, didn't he, when he came up against some proper horses?
He can go fuck himself, he can.
Yeah, I'll be staying well clear of him. And anyways, I thought Irish Point was a little bit overlooked. He had some good form back early in the season when he was only beaten by Marine National, and then he was stepped up to the Lawlers and Nace, and he was only beaten by Champ Coyle. If you see what he went on to do on the Ballymore, he'll stay the trip. I just think at 8-1 he's a little bit overlooked. And they went to a grade 3 there. He won the last day and skipped Cheltenham. I wonder if this has been the plan all along. And as I said at the top of the show, I think coming here fresh will be an advantage in his court. So Irish Point at 8-1 in here for me.
Andrew?
Oh, this is a yakety yak race, isn't it? If In the Pocket was run here, that'd be the selection. But Herpes Allen, I'm still giving out to myself for back in that joke at Cheltenham. I'd never forgive myself for doing that. The fuck was I doing? The rest of them are much of a muchness, really, aren't they? I don't know. It's hard. If I was to come down on one, and this is not a strong opinion, so let's be clear about it. He's been running himself back into form after he had a bad injury last season. 4th in the Albert Bartlett last time out, which is a very good run. drop down a bit trip. I don't think it's going to do him any harm in the world. He's 14, 16 to 1. I think he'll have worse each way shots than him in a race that God only knows what can win it.
Tom?
You're all taking the piss out of Herpes Allen, but Herpes Allen will bounce back to form here and win.
He can. I couldn't give a shit. He's a horse I'll never go near now again. He just.
Are you the kind of guy that doesn't forgive a horse one bad run?
No, I'm not Johnny Deneen. I just don't like him now. Because I don't know. I just don't like him now.
Because he got beat once.
He spat the dummy out so fast. Once they started pestering him. Once they started pestering, he got a fucking heart attack. You don't know
when you're landing ahead in front of American Mike, you've got to be asking yourself questions.
This is a weird race though, lads. So yeah, again, this is something that a 20-1 shot could go in with.
Yeah,
Herpes Allen's going to bounce back to 4. But a 20-1 shot can win it. That's telling you how mad this race is.
I don't really have a strong opinion. It wouldn't surprise me if Hermes Allen wins. I think the filly is good as well.
Yeah,
but each way on Hendo's horse, the Carpenter, for me, he's unexposed. He's won 2 races this year over hurdles. Never looked like getting beaten, and either of them travels very well. Whether he's up to it because he's lost the fines on ratings, I don't know. But it's the end of a long season. He didn't go to Cheltenham, so give him a shot.
Kate Era as well, Dan Skettons. If she gets loose in the front, she could run a massive race.
The Carpenter, he's great.
Okay.
Back blow your wad for a bit of crack as well, Sean.
Who?
Blow your wad.
Back him on.
Yeah. There's Dave's ours. Blow your wad on, blow your mind, and never look back.
Back him on. The 3:35, the Liverpool Hurdle, Grade 1, 3 miles, half a furlong. Marie's Rock is 72 favourite. Tahupo 4-1. Flooring Porter 5s. Champ 7s. Sire de Burley 7s. Dashel Drasher 8-1. Home by the Lee 8-1. Time Hill, who should have ran over hurdles all season, is 10-1 and 14-1 bar. Tom, they have the winner.
Probably not. Probably not, but I will throw in another Oliver McKiernan horse to run well in meet and greet. I only be backing him each way. 14-1 is probably short enough, to be fair. But this is wide open. I just don't like Marie's Rock. I'm not going to back her, especially if she's Fav. Tiupu was third, was second, was third. Yeah, I don't know. There's much of a muchness between all of those. I'll just take a swing at something random that might get its head in front one day.
Andrew?
See, Tom, I am the forgiven type. I'm going to give Maria's Rock another chance.
Fool.
I'm just going to... It's a bit mean.
Jesus.
It's a bit fucking mean, isn't it?
Fucking hell.
Mother of God.
You won't forgive Herpes Allen, but you give that absolute yak of a thing. I cannot stand
because she's had to make me a good bit of money over the past few years. So, yes, I will. Sentimental value and all that jazz. But that run was too bad to be true at Cheltenham. There was a lot of horses that underperformed in that race. Be it the pace they went or whatever the hell happened. They are 7-2, I think. Look, it's a short enough price. I'd rather her be 6-1, to be honest. But I think just forget about that run. It's not the first time she thrown in a bad race, but she backs him up then after she got pulled up at Kempton last January, and then she went on to win at Warwick, then she won at Cheltenham, then she won at Punchestown. I definitely forgive her that run. 7-2 should be my main bet. But mother of God, I'd love to see Dashel Drasher actually win one. I'd be great to see him win one, especially after them getting back the second place at Cheltenham. Yeah, I'd be shouting him home if he was there. I don't know if Home by the Lee is run. If Home by the Lee is run, he has a massive chance. He possibly should have won if he didn't make that massive mistake. He has another massive run in him. But that's been his 4th run of the season. Again, it's the end of the season, silly season. And then Sire de Burley, God only knows what Sire de Burley turned up. He won this last year as well. So, I don't know. I think Maria's Rock, I'd forgive her. And if Home by the Lead did run, I'd have a small each way on him as well.
Yeah, A lot of these had hard races at Cheltenham. A lot of them in the stairs hurdle, heavy ground. It was hard work. Marie's Rock, I said before Cheltenham, I questioned her form. I just don't think she's as good as what people thought she was earlier on in the season. Beating Queensbrook and Stormy Ireland last year, and Epatone, who's regressed. She came up against better mares and Honeysuckle, Love Envoy, so on and so forth, and she got battered at Cheltenham. I think that's just probably how good she is.
Do you really think so, though?
I don't think she'll stay either.
There's a lot of them got battered on that. They ran below their reins.
I also don't think she'll stay. One that ran at Cheltenham, but should have ran over hurdles. And I'll forgive him his runs over fences because he's a far better hurdler. I think Time Hill will run well. I give him an each way chance. He's won it before. I don't know what they were doing, send him chasing because he was too small and he didn't like jumping fences. But back over hurdles, I'll give him a shout each way.
Mm-hmm.
Sean,
it's about a month too late. God bless him.
This is a very tough race. It would be more of a sentimental bet to be in here, to be honest with you. It would be Florian Porter. I think he was back at Cheltenham. I wonder what the injuries and the leg, if he missed a bit of training, is that he just didn't finish out the race the way he did. It'd be nothing too strong, but I'd be the same as you. I'd be keen to take on Maria's Rock. And that's theirs. Like, would you be half surprised if Sir the Boilers was pulled up here? Not really. A bit of a mad race that was. But it'd be Florian Porter, just a small bet in there for me.
Gone at the game.
That's sentimental, definitely. I like Florian Porter, but
it is sentimental, 100%.
I think Cheltenham is his game. And
match bet.
Andrew, match bet.
Who would you have?
I'll take meet and greet.
Okay.
Nice.
Anyone else?
Write that down. Anyone else for the match bet?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Why?
Because it's no. The Grand National. We done selections on this in the anti-post. We'll give 2 each in this. So you're only allowed to give 2. Tom's probably only going to give 1 because he really believes the horse that he's picking is going to win.
Because Tom has blown his wad by 5:30 or 5:15, is it?
The gate is getting installed while this race is being ran.
See these people that are handcuffing themselves to the railings. That could be Tom at 5:30.
There's a bumper as the get out stake, Sean. Oh no.
Let's not go mad for those betting on the Grand National like the Irish one last week. It's near impossible to get the winner
words,
off.
Dave. Very sensible words.
Be sensible.
GSI,
if you fancy blowing your wad, do it earlier, perhaps. Don't wait till the 40 runner field. But Tom, take it away.
Look, the Milos wins, lads. It's as simple as that, really. Never been so confident about a horse in the National. Dave, you pointed out earlier in the week, my last 2 selections, Cloth Cap. I don't.
You were very.
I think he was as confident, more confident
in Cloth Cap. If you go back and watch the podcast, you said it just wins, lads.
It can't be beat.
Yeah, I was keen on Cloth Cap. I don't think that was as bad. Last year, I was really keen on Delta Work, I remember. And that was silly. So I just think you learn a bit more each year as the years go by. You look at this lad; he fits in. I'll start on him, and then I'll rip to shreds the rest of the top of the market. It's easy to do as well. This is what makes me even more keen. It's so easy to do. Look, this horse has been trained for this race since the start of the season. Soon as Skelton got him, he said he's a Grand National horse. He was amazed he won at Bangor. He wasn't half fit by the sounds of it. He then came out and won the Hennessy off 146. He's only £6 higher here. Him and Remastered were a long way clear. And when Remastered came to him, he went on again. I don't think he'd have ever let him get past him. He stays very, very well. He goes on any ground. He's then had 1 prep run at Kelso and Skelton's screaming from the rooftops that he wasn't 100% fit. He's travelled that well and jumped that well that he's ended up, and Harry's kicked him in the belly, which he probably shouldn't have done. But he's ended up 10, 15 lengths clear at least, and he's just got done on the line getting tired. He's done a hell of a lot more work from that by all accounts. The 2 horses that have been beaten in that Kelso race and won a national. I found out the other one, Bala Briggs and Aurora's Encore. I really like that stat. That clearly works well, that race. And if you're not 100%, I think he travels well, which you need to do in a national. He jumps very well, which you need to do in a national. It's his first time over national fences, and we know that they've got a great record. Horses going first time over them. Skeleton's in really good form. As I say, he's been training for this race. He's got a lovely racing weight. He's going to have 10 stone 11. I think that gives him a fantastic chance. And yeah, look, I'm mad keen on him. I've been backing him a long way out. Nat gave out to me because I didn't name check him when I said a friend of mine bought him. So Nat, as you might have guessed, bought Le Milos from France fairly cheaply as well. So look, we're going. We hope he wins. I think he's got a cracking chance. And that's before you get to the rest of the field. I think the weight comes into this a bit. Andrew, I know you've got one at the top of the market you fancy, but since Many Clouds, who was a bona fide, probably a grade 1 horse, he won off 11.9. No other horse has carried more than, I think, 11.6. And that was Neptune Grange, who was a very good horse. No other horse has carried 11.6, more than 11.6 to win since Red Rum won his 4th Grand National. So that stat is a fantastic one. I think you can rule out those ones at the top of the market. Any second now has had his chance to win a national. He's got murdered by the handicapper. Noble Yates is £19 higher. Just can't have that at all. Galvin's a cross-country horse these days. Fury Roads, I don't know if he's going to run. I don't think it's important anyway. And then you're into Delta Work. He's a cross-country horse. He had his chance to win it last year off the same mark. He didn't. He's a cross-country horse. Corrick Rambler's best form is at Cheltenham, lads. By a country mile, his best form is at Cheltenham. Derek Fox is either going to be riding him injured or he's not going to be riding him at all. If he's not riding him, it's a massive blow. And Le Milos has already beaten him. I know there's a weight swing, but I do think Le Milos can go on and improve again. And as I say, Corrick Rambler for me, different horse at Cheltenham. Longhouse Poet has had a chance to win this last year as well. Ran okay, getting close. Mr. Incredible, I wouldn't back him.
Do you want a coffee? I'll go down and make a coffee. Do you want one?
No, I've gone through them, you see. I've done my homework here. Mr. Incredible.
Tom, can I ask? How long
did you go through the stats?
How long did you go through the stats for? Because you seem to have a lot of stats in the Milos' favour.
Yeah, there are. If you go through the Racing Post an article recently, and literally like all the stats are in the Milos' favour. His age, being an 8-year-old, everything. Galliard de Menil is a questionable one.
You've got another 40 seconds before we move on.
Jesus. Mr. Incredible is probably going to be run well, but you wouldn't trust him what he'd do. And that's Le Milos then. I mean, 16-1 is a fantastic price. I think he'll go off 10s. I think he'll get well punted. And I just think he wins.
Okay, Tom has gone through a lot of them. For what it's worth, I think Le Milos has a good chance. But it is the national, and the fences are easier to jump nowadays, but you do have to jump them all, and there's 40 runners. I would be steering well clear from anything high in the weights. The stats are massively against them. If Noble Yates went ahead and won, fair enough, but I would want to be getting 33-1 to be backing them, not 8s or 9s. So I've 2 outsiders. As I said, I like Le Milos too, but I won't take that on Tom. I was full sure.
Join in the party, Dave. Join in the party. That's what would be on Saturday night.
Fair enough. I was full sure Velvet Elvis was going to be a proper good handicapper this year, start of the year. He was poor, came back to form since the turn of the year. He was second the last day. First the time before that. Second last day was over an inadequate trip. Think he's a good chance. Age, he might be a little bit too young. Noble Yates won as a 7-year-old last year, but it is hard to do that. And then one that's probably being totally forgotten about, and he's a massive price. He might get 100-1. I have 80s here. He ran it last year, fell at the first. Enjoyed Dallin.
It's not a good stat.
Ran over hurdles the first couple of runs this year. Back over fences then in the big handicap at Leopardstown on Christmas, came 10th. And then his prep run was behind Kenboy, Vanillier, all those horses in a grade 3. He's only carrying 10 stone 5.
Match bet. Because he has no fucking hope.
Yeah, I'll do a match bet with him.
Hey, can I have a match bet with him and Lamilos?
No, because I like Lamilos.
Thank you.
This is an outsider at 80 to 1. I'm not gonna come on here and tip something less than 10 to 1 national. There's just no chance.
That's fine. Lamilos for 16s. How much would you have on Velvet Elvis and Enjoy Dallin? Like 250 each way, maybe.
Yeah, maybe €4 each way.
€4 each way. Okay, so that's €16. You do realize that's €16 you could have on Lamilos, yeah?
It's the national.
Someone just named Laminos Le Thomas now.
Oh, Jesus.
My nanny is dead about 10 years, and she probably has more of a chance than the four of us of getting the winner. So
that's quite true.
To say that horse has no chance in this is not correct.
It's correct.
It's not correct.
Generally, you have no chance if you're carrying over 11 stone 5. So that's about when you're
20 to 1 last year, and he's clearly been trained for this. So
yeah. He went off way shorter last year, and he's clearly just being coddled around with this as the main objective. So, yeah, each way on him. Enjoy Dallin. Andrew.
Nobody hates the guy. I know he's massively up in weights. But last year he was the first 7-year-old to win this race since 1940. Look, it's going to be a massive performance if he's going to do it. I'm not as confident as I was. So I was going through the race last night, and there was a few that actually stood out to me a bit. One of them being another 7-year-old is Capodanno. I think he could be a little sleeper in here. Open up. He made a comeback around at Gorham Park in the Red Mills Chase. That was behind Jandadil and Hunt on Clore. He's good form last season. Running in big races. He bolted up at Punchestown. He was 4th at Cheltenham. He's grade 1 form. I think he could run a massive race. And one at a bigger price than that is one who's going to be out in front, out of the way of trouble, is a very good jumper, and just keep staying and staying and staying. That's Jessica Harron's lifetime ambition. I think you'll get a massive run for your money with him. He's second behind the big dog in the Tri-Town at Navan. Can't tell them apart.
Navan.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think he'll run a big race as well. And then one at a massive price is Hill 16. Beating Snot in the Beechers last year, has form over the fences. That counts for a lot around here. And he's 80, 100 to 1.
Sean,
that's about it.
Two of them.
Yeah, I have 2 picks. One is Lamilos. Tom gave us a 20-minute introduction on him. I have a couple of mates going over, Tom. I am going to send them a £50 just in case you need to get home out of that place. For just to make sure. But my second selection is going to be the big dog. Andrew touched on, he beat Lifetime Ambition in the Tri-Town to start the season, and I think he's just progressed ever since. He then went on to run in the Welsh National, where he carried 12 stone on heavy ground, and I think it just got the better of him late on, where he finished third. But then it was his race at the Dublin Race Festival for me, to be quite honest with you. He was travelling into the race very well. He went to take the lead at 2 out, but unfortunately he tipped over. But I haven't seen him. I think his form is improving all the time. I think he could have ran a big race there, maybe got into a place where he tipped up. I mean, we'll never know. But at the age of 10, I think he's the best he's ever been. And if there is one thing, it is his jumping. He did fall the last days, his Achilles heel, but the Grand National, it doesn't take as much jumping as he used to. I think at 25 to 1, he is being overlooked in him here, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. He'll stay all day. I think he's going to run a big race. At 25 to 1, it's just too big for me.
Very good. Okay, naps and next bests before we sign off. I'll give my 2. Sure, I'll start. I already said by nap, Apple away in the Sefton, and a race we didn't touch on, the Topham Jeskill, I think, is my next best. I think he has a great chance. He's run over the fences twice, been second twice. Really unlucky. Typical of Aintree, when you're able to jump the fences and you keep coming back time after time, it always works. So Jeskill next best, and Apple away Nap. Sean.
Nap Constitution Hill. Only joking. My nap is Maximilian each way, and my next best is Found at 50.
Tom.
Nap is obviously the Milos GSI. And the next best is No Looking Back. You can back him each way because he's 16s. No Looking Back, 255 on Friday.
Andrew.
Nap is Banbridge, and next best, same as Tom.
And that there ends our Grand National preview. We will be back. Maybe not Sunday. Well, Tom, will you be back? No, we'll be back.
No, he'll be off flinging 50s around the place.
We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll touch on the Irish Ferry House meeting and the English Aintree meeting going forward. We'll do a little review show. Hopefully one of us gets the winner of the Nationals.
Highly unlikely, though.
It's highly unlikely.
Tom, I actually pray it's you, to be honest. I hope it comes off you.
Tom, I hope you land an absolute fortune, lad.
As I said,
one of these, as we were saying.
As I said, eventually it will fall your way, Tom, and one of these mad anti-post bets will go your way. I wouldn't be so confident on the National, but best of luck.
Thank you.
On that note, enjoy Aintree, bet responsibly. Do not GSI
Tom.
on the National.
Come say hi. Come say hi if you see me at Aintree if you're there. And if you haven't seen me before the bumper, pull me away from any bookmakers.
Yes. I can see Tom getting windy when the Milos falls.
Oh, yeah. I know. Tom's going to get windy. Like, from
Tom,
the minute he steps into the pre-parade ring, he's going to start laying him or something.
You have to do this now. You have to get someone to record you watching the race.
It could go in your favor, because if he kicks on early,
I knew I had something to say.
If he kicks on
that's
early,
your big problem. That's your massive problem.
See, you're fucked if you do and you're fucked if you don't, because you want to be out of trouble and up there and jumping well and not be brought down. But if he is up there jumping well, he's going to kick him on like 10 out.
Canal turn.
And it's a long way home. Like.
You know when the commentators changed at the Mellon Road, you just want to hope he doesn't say Lamilos and Harry Skelton is taking it.
Lamilos is just taking it up. Oh, fuck.
I'm going to be calling him every name under the sun, and I can see it happening. Why it might remind me of is, do you remember Blogger's video of Enable in the Ark when he's running down the steps? He's like,
oh gosh, she got beat.
He's like, no. I can see that happening.
And Harry, if he's out there and things are going well, he's also liable to fire him into a fence for no reason whatsoever.
And the one he will fire him into the chair. Slap.
Yeah.
The biggest one around.
Fucking fire him into Beechers, and there's a big huge drop at the back of it.
You're stressing him out. Look at him.
Yeah, I get it now already.
Please like and subscribe. Leave your Grand National tips under the video in the comments, and best of luck at Aintree.